Hello everyone, this is Akira. Thank you for joining us for this event workshop. Maybe is sitting right there. For technical reason, I'm just yeah, we're sorry that we're delayed. And then, but we're talking about Hong Kong style egg noodle. That's the actually most popular, one of the most popular noodles in the world. And then, that's, as the name suggests, right? It's originated in Hong Kong. And then, once you try that, right? Once you taste it, like you can never forget it. It's a very unique, distinctive noodle texture. Um, we've been trying because, a lot of customers ask us to like, how can we, make this particular type of noodle like from scratch, right? So, we've been making our own versions, right, for quite a while, and then, we have a few versions of our own, including soup and wonton. But today we are focusing on the noodles, right? So yeah, we're gonna show you guys like how Hong Kong one type noodles can be made like from scratch, right? But also I want to talk about kind of going through some slides, right? I want to talk about how you can how we can structure this particular type of noodle, and then because these noodles use eggs, right? Fresh eggs. So we want to understand like how fresh eggs work in terms of a noodle recipe. So um, okay, I just want to dive right into the slides I prepared, right? And then we're gonna make some fresh, Hong Kong wonton egg noodles from scratch on our Richmond Gold 2. Richmond Gold 2 is like, basically our latest, most advanced noodle machine, right? And then that's used for, micro noodle factory business for reasons that, I want to talk about later in these slides. But, I just want to jump right into the, probably the most valuable information this workshop. So, egg noodles, right? We have in Japan we make egg noodles, right? And then in Japan usually use whole egg in dry powder form. Because Japanese are afraid of getting infected with the salmonella virus, right? Um, but basically, so like 2% of whole egg powder, right? And then 40% liquid hydration. So that's like kind of high hydration noodles. But fresh noodles, right? Hong Kong style one egg noodles, right? Using fresh eggs. Um, the fresh eggs, right? It's like 41%. So like we crack like all these eggs, right? And then make egg liquid, right? And then we weigh it to 41% onto the weight of the flour, right? Then 1% currency, 1% salt. Then we're gonna get back to this recipe after I explain about the fresh eggs, as noodle ingredients. So using fresh egg, right, it's can be a little tricky because nutrients that fresh eggs have, right, is water, 75% protein, 12% fat, 10% ash, 1%, right? And then so these are the three types of eggs that we use for noodles. And then so egg white, right? Egg white is used like when we want to have like a water resistant quality, right? Noodles, and because it has a highest protein, right, among these three. It gets hard, right, when cooked, right? So I think you all like try hard boiled egg, and then the white part of the egg is like kind of bounced like hard, right? That's a kind of hardness we are trying to put into our noodles, right? But when using egg white and egg yolk, so basically strong egg flavor, then yellow color, right? And whole egg is basically both, right, both of the yolk and white, and then it adds a flavor as yellow color, but not as much as yolk, but it gives hardness, right? So, but like Hong Kong style, wonton egg noodles, so we just use like whole eggs. And then so we want to break eggs into two parts. That's liquid and solid, right? So when using fresh eggs, like we want to think of fresh eggs as like well, because liquid percentage, the white contains is 88%, right? The yolk contains just 48%. So combine them together, right? The whole egg, liquid percentage is 76%. So that means like the remaining percentage is actually considered as a solid ingredients, right? And then powder form, liquid percentage in white, just 7%, liquid percentage of yolk, like 3%, right? So the liquid percentage of whole eggs is 4.5%. So when using powder eggs, like we just consider egg as just solid ingredients, um, but we can still use the powder eggs as in this Hong Kong style uh, you know egg noodles by actually adding water to it, like 3.5 times the water, and then make basically kind of same like the liquid eggs, right? As using like fresh egg, right? But of course, like fresh eggs like tastier. But like Japanese maybe afraid of like using fresh eggs for the risk of like getting infected with salmonella virus. But yeah, you could definitely use fresh eggs. Making Hong Kong egg wonton noodles, right? So getting back to the recipes, right, that we first talked about. So you know, okay, 10 kilograms of wheat flour, right? For that, we prepare fresh egg, right? 41% to the weight, so that's 4.1 kilograms of fresh egg, right? And then 1% for each of pounds of salt, so that's like 100 grams each. And but because of the liquid percentage, right? Of the fresh eggs was 76%. Um, you know, even though it's like that's the 4.1 kilograms of fresh egg, right? The only liquid is just 3.3 kilograms, right? And then we want to think of 0.98 kilograms of egg liquid as solid ingredients. So actual hydration ratio is just 30%. 30%. It's like it's almost like low hydration ratio noodles, right? So these are the variables like we consider like when constructing like our noodle recipes, and then so there's protein, flour, right? Harder the more protein, and then the viscosity of the starch, the higher the this value, the material, right? Viscous. The hydration, higher, softer the noodle texture, and then noodle size, the thickness. Times the width, the bigger the harder, right, and more white, or straight or curly noodles. Okay, and then another thing that we want to I want to touch on like before we go is that like how we calculate the production cost of Hong Kong like noodles, and they like any kind of noodles, right? And there's so labor cost, ingredient cost, right, utility cost. So cost of making like regular fresh ramen noodles, right, is probably somewhere around like 25 cents, 27 cents, or something like that, right? And then because we are using eggs, right, which are more expensive than like just water, right? So units may go up to maybe 20 cents or so, but it made it vary depending on the local pricing of fresh eggs. But total cost of like making one serving of egg Hong Kong style egg noodles would be like 33 cents or something around there, right? But it depends on the ingredients you use. So it varies. But like that's how we calculate the production cost of the noodles. And then before we start making Hong Kong style wonton noodles, like allow me to talk about a little bit about we can go to, right? So RICHMEN Wonton has been used for, chosen for a micro noodle factory business, and then because of these three reasons, right? Ease of use, versatility, and then built-in because of building noodle making artisan technologies. So first of all, like ease of use, right? Low height, and the silky mixer, 25 kilogram mixer, is usually used in combination with RICHMEN Wonton machine, right? And then we designed this machine to be like a very low height, because in noodle production you have to do a lot of like heavy lifting, right? Want to have like a lift 25 kilogram flour bags like up, right, up to, well, throw it into the mixer, right, and then you have to pick up the dough and then lift it on, then place onto the the to feed it into the roller, right? So imagine how many times you have to do that in a day, and then that's a lot of work. And so we designed them to be low, right? Just 86 centimeters, 87 centimeters, right? So that makes it easier on your workers, right? Then we have this like function called like automatic feeder. So once you place a dough, right, on the conveyor, and then you don't have to do anything, right? In conventional noodle machine, like you have to feed it by your hand, right, manually. Then you don't know like how much you have to feed, to the roller like at the time. But the RICHMEN Go tube has like this sensing capability of like measure how much dough is like being fed to the roller, right? So it kind of knows like how fast or like how slow it should feed dough at a time. And then another thing is like that's wonderful about this Brisbane Gold too is that like when retrieving catching noodles, right, noodles coming out of the machine, the conveyor, right, that carries the noodles out is set at like relatively high, point from the ground, right? So it's very visible, right, and then it's very comfortable. You can just put a chair, like regular chair, in front of it, and then uh, comfortably catch the noodles, right? So you don't have to take the noodles like in an awkward position and hold your back, right? And then another thing is you can control everything on this touch panel. You can set the roller gap, you can set the roller speed, then you can see everything that's going on, you know, in this machine during the operation. So it's very easy to use. Another thing which we go to is like very popular among the noodle factory businesses that versatility. It's a variety of like sizes, shapes of noodles that you can make. It's very with ease. To talk about it, like I want to use this chart again. Like this chart, well, just describes like any kind of noodles that you can pretty much make. With the rectangle too, or and then original noodles is so versatile in a way that like it's capable of like making noodles that are like in terms of hydration range, right? Hydration wise, 25%, 45%, and it compares to like conventional pasta machines that are just capable of making noodles that are very narrow hydration range like of 32% and 36%, right? So imagine like how many types of noodles that you can make with this machine, right? So that includes low hydration noodles such as like Hong Kong Wonton egg noodles, and the most popular type of ramen noodles in the world, Hakata style tonkotsu noodles, right? Up to like udon and tsukemen types of high hydration noodles. So it's very 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 versatile. And then as you can see in this picture, right? That's the kind of difference between low hydration noodles dough and then high hydration noodle dough. Like so, that's very dramatic difference between the you know different hydration of dough. And then of course, it's very easy to make different types of dough, like using different ingredients. We just have to like put these different flavors and different colored ingredients in the mixer to make these doughs, right? So it's very easy to do it. It's very versatile. And lastly, so Richmond Go 2 has like a built-in noodle making artisan technologies in this machine. So you can work the dough properly, right, by regulating the roller speed. It's very effective in dough development. And then for efficiency, when it needs to go fast, right, it goes fast, right? So it speeds up its operation. So it's very easy. And then it's automatic, so you don't have to do anything. Optimize gluten development without damaging it, right? It's a very important part in making very good noodle texture. It automatically just roll a gap by just touching the panel. Then so you don't have to memorize like you certain formula to calculate. Okay, well, it has to be this raw, this much raw gap like at this process, right? So you don't have to. You just need to push one button. Combining process. So it's a process like kind of equivalent of to work out and working your muscle, right? To develop the muscle to develop like ideal noodle texture. So compounding process is like very efficiently done, like on the Richmond Gold 2 machine, which is very important process in making this distinctively unique Hong Kong style egg noodles. Okay, yeah, then we're gonna show right how these noodles are made. That's great. This online sort of like workshop is great. In that way, but but there's no better way to experience these noodles and experience the most advanced noodle machine than actually going to certain place, right, and then experience them in person, right? So yeah, so we prepared like this special workshop in Amsterdam, Netherlands, for those of you who are watching from Europe, right? So we have this showroom in Amsterdam, right? And then, just for like 50 euros per attendee, we're gonna, walk, do this sort of like workshop where you can learn how to make a variety of noodles from scratch, right? That's a very valuable skill. And then what gonna let you guys try noodles like freshly made, and then and more, right? 50, that's like too cheap. That's a steal, right? For you guys to go and attend this workshop. And then yeah, this month, right, we happen to be doing it on 12th and 20th and 27th. So we have a page set up for it. So like please feel free to like go to our website, noodle.com, and then sign up for your seat. It's very limited. And then we also have a showroom in Houston, Texas, right? For those of you who are watching from the United States, that's a $60 for attendee. And then for February, this month, we have on the 27th and 28th, right? So we only have like 4 spots, right? 4 sections, available, and then a very limited number of sheets available. So before we run out of these seats, right? Please, hurry up to our website and then sign up for your seat. And also, so we are broadcasting from our HQ, in Kagawa, Japan. For those of you who don't know where it is, please Google it. But yeah, we're doing this like 2-day special workshop, right? 21st and 22nd. So this is a very special workshop, and then it's the best of all, it's free, right? And then yeah, I'm sure like most of you like never had like what Kagawa is and don't never know like what Kagawa is about. So that's why we recommend that you come right to this workshop. You'll discover so many unique stuff here, and then you get great inspiration for your business. I don't know, 2 days. One day, focuses on like ramen, right? Another day focuses on udon, which is actually, you know, the specialty of Kagawa Prefecture. So yeah, there is no better place for you to like experience like authentic Sanuki udon than Kagawa. So please consider coming, right? Okay, so that's what I had this slide. So let's start eating some Hong Kong-style wonton egg noodles on Richmond Go 2. Yeah, so we have we have a Richmond Go 2 machine, and then it's a very, yeah, as I said, right? It's a, you know the height is pretty low, right? Designed low, so you don't have to lift the heavy dough, right? You know, I mean, conventional machine like probably up here, right? So we save you guys like some labor, physical work, with this machine, and then yeah, so you know me yeah, so like it means actually setting the initial roller gap, right? So initially, you may need to kind of manually, input that number, but like the rest of processes, you don't have to. You just like push one button and then like the machine does it for you, right? And then I know you guys are busy, right? So like we wanted to save you guys some time by you know making the dough in advance. So you made the dough in advance, right? And then as you maybe will see the condition of the dough, as I said, like, so it's actually 41% to the weight of the flour, right? That's that's considered high hydration, but because of the liquid percentage of the fresh egg, right? That's 76%. So 24% of it like is solid ingredients. So that's why the condition seems like almost like a low hydration dough. It's very small from balls of dough, right? Yeah, it's the higher the hydration, like the bigger the crumbles, right? So and then so we're doing this process called like a rough forming process. So we're just turning this crumbles dough into sheet shaped dough, kind of forcing this dough into the sheet shape, right? And then yeah, so another thing that like we can't really you can't really experience by watching this kind of remote workshop is that like that smell, right? You can smell this kind of egg flavor. There, I am smelling like kind of very strong egg flavors from here. Um, and then because of the see the sensor, you see the red light, right? So that's the sensors that and then so what happened, right? So make me hand like went through the sensors, right? We call it cotton light sensors. So it's invisible, like, but actually, there's a sensor that's running, right? And then, so any object that's going through the sensor makes the machine to stop. Uh, so that's one of the, safest features that installed in the commercial noodle machine, right? So, it's very safe. So that's why that's another reason that you can let you know any kind of workers without any skill, without any prior experience, you can put him or her on the operation of these noodle machines, right? So after the, well, what the process we call wrap forming. So we're going to separate this dough, right, into two sheets. And then, because this dough is like still fragile, right? So we want to make it hard, and then, we want to develop that kind of little texture that, um, resembles the Hong Kong-style Wonton egg noodles. We want to combine them, right, by feeding these two separate sheets of dough into the roller. And it's kind of like a walking a muscle, right? Kind of wanting to walk out, and then she, um, so she pushes the button that says like combining, right? And then that changed the roller gap, right, automatically. So you don't have to remember the whatever calculation formula to you know calculate the appropriate roller gap for the next process. Yeah, each Richmond Gold 2 does it for you, right? Just by pushing that one button. So that's very convenient. Yeah, and then so you don't have to kind of. That's why you don't have to have like skilled labor, right, or experienced labor. You can just have like kind of simple, manual or like checklist that's put on the wall, and then the worker can, see it, and then, knows, what to do next, right? Yeah, and then, um, yeah, in this process, and the previous process, like the machine kind of going slow, right? That's on purpose. Um, the in this process, like, we want to apply very, you know, uh, good high pressure, right, on the dough to develop the gluten structure, right? So Richmond Gold is working slowly on purpose, so it knows, you know, the speed, appropriate speed at which it, it should roll at this phase of the production. So that's a built-in feature that, like, and then that allows anyone to make great noodles, you know as good as well experienced noodle makers can make, and then keep on making, consistently. So the second um, combining process, right? Second combining process, and then we normally do this combining process like twice, right? 'Cause we found out, like, we did a lot of experimentation, trial and errors to find okay, what's the optimal number of times that we do this combined process to bring out the best noodle texture, right? So we found that to be two times. You know, if we do like three times, four times, like the noodle texture doesn't improve, didn't improve, right? So yeah, so twice it's like kind of ideal number of times we can do like in this combined process to develop a gluten structure, Hong Kong style wonton noodle with texture. So for second time, so after this process, right, we can consider the dough is fully developed, right? So yeah, we can start thinning the dough. Yeah, we can start thinning the dough, and then okay, so So after combining process, right? So all we have to do is just thin it to the final thickness before we start cutting, right? And then from this point on, we're gonna start dusting, right? So duster is like set to the back of the machine, right? And then dusting the outer surface of the dough, right? And then so it's dusting, and then so duster you can adjust the volume of dusting as well. So basically, higher the hydration, the more you want to dust, right, to keep it from sticking. Yeah. So push this button. That is thinning, right, and then just roll a get just adjust it automatically. So you don't have to know what the roller gap should be. But in convention machine, like you need to know, right, the formula, and then you need to like set it manually, which can be confusing. And then so from this point on, right, you can go faster, right? You can go faster, so we're going fast, right? And then so yeah, that went fast, right? Then we want to check the thickness, right? Okay, that's 1.6, 1.7, 1.6. Because like roller gap is set, right? And there's always a gap between the actual thickness of roller gap is set, because the dough, bounces back, right? So, but we see the difference, right? And then by knowing the difference, we can set the roller gap appropriately for the final cut. And then yeah, so zero point 0.3 millimeter difference, right? So like we expect it to bounce back by zero point 0.3. So by setting roller gap to zero point 0.7, we expect the final thickness to be 1.0, which is you know thickness we are aiming at, right? Then we use this cutter, right? That's round number 30 cutter. That's 1 millimeter, right? So each group is 1 millimeter. So we set the cutter there, right? And then yeah, we're ready to go. Yeah, so we're going to cut it, right? And then so before it gets into the cutter, right? It it gets steamed first, right? And then it gets into the cutter, right? So yeah, so we want to think about, okay, what's the final wall gap right before, then yeah, by placing the duster there, right, we can dust, you know, um, the dough right before it gets in the cutter. Okay, so the noodle coming out. Wow, that's a very long noodle, right? But you can adjust the length, right, by the volume there. Like it's very easy to do it, right? You can make it longer to make the serving size bigger, right? We can make it shorter to make the serving size shorter, smaller. So it's very. And then look at the look at how maybe you're taking the noodles, right? I mean, the comfort of chair, like it's very comfy and then easy, and then it's easier on your back. And then look at this original go to, right? Churning out like all these noodles, right? Imagine like having this piece of machine, in a factory or like restaurant, right? You know, where customers can see it. Um, it's kind of like entertaining, right? And then so you can show how you make noodles from scratch, right? Um, you know, and then I think they may amaze your customers, right? Because they are seeing how their noodles are being made, right? Right in front of their eyes. You can even like make the noodles on demand, right? To order, with this machine because it's so easy, and you prepare the dough and then store them, and then once you get order, like you can just make it in noodles. So nothing is fresher than that, right? So yeah, so that's the egg Hong Kong style wonton egg noodles. Well, this workshop would just we just did like the noodles, right? But like we've done like the wonton and two. We've done soup as well. Um, yeah, so we have a lot of recipes of Chinese noodles, right? So we're gonna be doing like probably more and more of this type of Chinese noodles, which are getting like really really popular across the world. And then because of the versatility, ease of use, right? Which has been like very popular for people who are doing the American noodle factory business. So please consider, coming to our event, right, in Kagawa headquarters, and then Houston, Texas, right, and then Amsterdam, the Netherlands, right. So that's it for what I have for this class. But like this Friday, coming Friday, we're gonna be doing this Daizu like soybean noodles, which is like low carb noodles, right, which are like healthier noodles. So please stay tuned. Like we have a page set up. Please sign up for it. So yeah. Yeah, that's it for what I have for this class. And then if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And then please hit the like button if you like this kind of content. So yeah. So I hope to see you guys back in the next workshop. So thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.